Welcome to River City Plus, the show after the show, the River City After Party. Today, I am joined by a local celebrity who really needs no introduction, but just in case you are new here, this is the iconic Jpaw. I am so excited you're in the studio today.
I'm excited to be here too. Thank you for having me.
So I know you have a lot on your plate this season. Obviously, you know, you're the #1 Jags gal around town. You are a relentless and always supportive fan, no matter what the record is. I know you always have opinions, but it always does round out with some positivity. But today we're actually going to be talking about you, not just the Jags.
Yes, I'm really excited to talk about my upcoming comedy shows that I have, a lot of local places that I'm in, and trying to get them on the map as well. So it's all about local supporting local.
Yeah. So the first thing I have to ask, and this is because #1 Rance, who I hope you're watching at home, thanks for letting me have this interview. It was me, myself, and I in the studio today. But, you know, he's been working on building his own stand-up. I know my dad went through like a comedy class one time, and I've always loved the idea of doing stand-up, but frankly, it seems terrifying because I'm like up here just going, please think I'm funny. Like we've all seen comedians just absolutely tank, and you have just really taken off creating, you know, fun stories from your own experiences. So talk to me about how you crafted your show.
So for this one, I saw them locally on Instagram, and it is the Cereal Box Live with the Vibe Live Studios. Yes, and I was like, comedians are a sucker for a good backdrop. Like if it has a good background, we want to be there. We want to take pictures. We want the video of it. And they decorated this place so great. And like they have a huge Jaguar mural on the outside. So obviously that caught
You're
my
like,
eye.
fine.
I want all the shows here. And then they serve cereal things. Like they do shakes, they do waffles, they do bowls of cereal. So it's not just a typical bar. It's a little bit more fun, you know, and they do serve drinks. But I saw this place and I was like, I got to get in there. I got to have a show there. And so I went to Poncho, the owner, and I was like, what do we think about doing a comedy show here? Because they already do so many other things like bingo, karaoke, any other kind of events. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. So this will be our third one, December 27th.
Yeah. So a really exciting time, obviously, in your career. Like you said, really that local supporting local vibe. I know they've been on the show, and I was just high on nostalgia and sugar that whole day that they were there, because it was like, here's Apple Jacks and this and that and the other. And we were just having the best time. And so what a great backdrop, like you said, for a really fun, connected show. Now, when you were talking about like who else was going to be a part of this, how did you bring together this cast?
So for this one, it ended up just being an all-female cast, and I have two from outside of Jacksonville. So Niffer Sims, she's from Orlando. She is absolutely hilarious. She was on Florida's Funniest Comedians with me lately. It's a big competition we have in Florida. And then Leslie Joe, she is out there and she's running all kinds of shows in DeLand area. And then Jen Weeks, who also needs no introduction to the Duval community.
Right.
She is fantastic. And I've worked with Jen for a very long time, and she's always in the community trying to help people out and do things. So I got her back on the show, and I'm really excited to bring all of them to the Cereal Box.
So when you are creating, you know, your content, you're working on your material for the show, how do you tailor it to different audiences, or is it kind of like what's happening to you in real time? I've always been fascinated with what that process is, because I know my favorite comedians are just really funny storytellers.
Yes, some of my favorite are storytellers. But I always talk about what's happening to me in my life and what's going on, what I've been through, because then nobody can say it didn't happen. Right. Or it's not true. So I also do a lot of like visual from what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, but it's always something that's going on with my life or I've witnessed or been a part of. I stay away from the politics.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Some people are really
After
good at
this
it.
year, we've had...
Yeah, some people are really good at it. Not me. I'll do a little bit of crowd work. I'll talk to the people and just see what's going on. And then sometimes it just ends up in a rant of whatever's happening.
Right.
Like I was on a rant on my last show about Vicks Vapor Rub, because when was the last time you remember buying Vicks Vapor Rub?
I don't. Does anyone actually buy Vicks Vapor Rub, or is it just in your grandma's cabinet?
That's what I'm wondering. Or is it like when you're born, they give you one and that's it?
And it lasts you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And inevitably, like the temperature will change, it will melt, it will somehow leak out of that jar, and it doesn't cross your mind until it's just on your bathroom floor in your whole medicine cabinet somewhere.
And I cannot tell you the last time, and I use it all the time. Cannot tell you the last time I bought Vicks. I don't know.
And you're like, I don't actually know how old this is.
No. I'm like, does it expire? I don't know. So it's just silly things like that. Like,
That's really funny. I wouldn't even think about that, but now I'm always gonna look at Vicks and be like, how did this get here?
Right.
Did it come with the house?
I feel like it did. And I think that's why they moved on to tissues, because nobody was buying the Vicks anymore. So they're like, we got to do something with this product.
We've messed up our own market.
Yes. We're sorry, Vicks.
So when you are creating shows like that, like just something as simple as that, like Vicks Vapor Rub, and, you know, talking about what's going on with you, when you are putting together these shows and you're getting to interact with your audience, how do you change and adapt over time?
I mean, you really have to roll with the punches of what's going on in life. And I feel like now with the cancel culture is so big.
Yeah.
You have to be super careful with what you're saying. And I've always been a fan, though, of if you're going to say it, like, say it confidently.
Right. Say what I like to say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Yes.
And then it's less likely to be an issue. But I mean, you do have to be a little bit sensitive to what's happening or certain topics, right? Because there is a such thing as too soon.
Right.
Unless it's super hilarious, there are such things as too soon. So I try to stay away from super controversial topics. But you have to also still be authentic to yourself,
right?
Which is a very hard balance at times, because people think you're just catering to that audience, and it's like, no, this is what I'm actually going through, but I want us to have a good time.
Yeah.
If I'm the only one that's laughing at my own self, then what are we doing?
Right. Or if you've ever been in an audience, like I know I've been to shows before where I'm just like, I don't even want anyone to see me here because I'm so uncomfortable with the material.
Yes.
Like I'll be like, oh, that was great. And then I'll get there. I'm like, I need to go. I can't be in the background of one of these photos. Like I'm like putting sunglasses on in the audience. Like I'm leaving at the break, because, you know, and it's, you know, it's just like, this is awkward for everybody.
Yeah. We've all been there. I've been part of those shows, and it's not fun.
Right. You're just like sliding down your seat. Like,
yeah. You're driving home like, why am I still
My
doing
mom brought
this?
me. I don't know. I came with a friend.
Right.
Like I didn't even drive here.
It's community service hours. That's fine.
Right. I don't know. I got catfish. I thought it was burlesque night. I don't know. I thought this was karaoke.
Right.
But I'd love to know, like, how did you, you know, when you first jumped into this, obviously, you know, this has been a while and you're like in the groove now, but like, how did you get up on stage that first time?
So I actually did theater in high school and college, and I've always loved theater. I've always loved stand-up comedy. My parents and I would watch like Seinfeld. I mean, just, you know, all those things. I Love Lucy when I was growing up as a kid. She's my icon.
Still one of my favorite female, like physical comedians.
Oh, my
like,
absolute favorite.
Like a physical comedy. She's still one of my favorites.
It's timeless. Like you can watch it at any point in time, and I'm going to cry laughing. So I watched her, and then I met a friend who is a friend now, but I met him. And he was like, yeah, I just got done doing a comedy show. And I was like, well, how did you get into that?
Right.
And he was like, oh, you know, and I said, no, I really want to do that. And I started, I don't know if you're familiar with the place or not, but it was called The Pit off of Beach Boulevard.
Okay.
And it was a gas station. It was a converted gas station.
Love.
That became like a hardcore metal emo club venue. It was all painted black everywhere. And we would do stand-up comedy on Monday nights. It's my first open mic 13 years ago this Thursday.
Wow. Oh my gosh, well, happy anniversary.
Thank you. The lucky 13 coming up. So I started there, and I was just like, you know, this is something I really like. I enjoyed it, and I kept going. And after about a year and a half of doing open mics, I went to the Comedy Zone for their workshop class and became a local for them, and just kind of kept going. Then after COVID, with me being able to work from home, my actual day job has been able to like let me open up doors of travel and get home late and not have to physically be somewhere the next day.
Right.
So the last, 4 to 5 years, I've really been pushing harder. And
and now you're producing these shows.
About 2 years ago, I started producing my own shows. And so I just wanted more venues for us as comics, because we don't have a lot of like clubs, like actual club locations. So as long as we can support some local places in the meantime, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too, because obviously you're putting together really great lineups. You know, your material is fun, it's engaging, it's relatable, because you are fun, engaging, and relatable. And I think especially when we're all in the community together, like, you know, you mix it between what's happening to all of us collectively and what's happening to you personally. So what can we expect from the upcoming shows? Like, what are we in store for?
I mean, for the upcoming shows, some great local talent, and not even just Jacksonville local, but Florida local. Every now and then we'll have somebody coming through from out of town and spice it up a little bit. But just some really great quality material of comedians. And just because we're not big names doesn't mean we're not funny.
Right.
So I really encourage anybody to come out and support any kind of local comedy, because you will be surprised at how funny these people are. And just because you don't see them on a Netflix show doesn't mean that they don't have talent.
Right. I mean, I think that could be said for so many people who are local. Like when you hear our bands, our musicians, our singer-songwriters, like our artists, you know, just because this isn't on a global scale yet does not mean that we don't want to give it that global attention on a local level.
Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, the tickets are only $5 to this show. What are you really missing out on, you know, except for a good time? That's all I can say. So, I mean, yeah, December 27th is this next one. Get past Christmas. It's $5. Come out and have a good time. Tickets are on Eventbrite, but it's always a good time. And then, I mean, who doesn't want cereal shakes?
Right, exactly. It's going to be a great venue. It's going to be a great time. And obviously we want to make sure that we see this and all of your future shows. So where can we keep up with you?
Yeah, on all my social medias is Jpaw, Jpaw 1002. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the social media things.
All the things.
all the things. Blue Sky now.
There's a new one?
Yes, it's exhausting. I need to hire somebody just to do my social media. I hate when people say
I'm too old for this, but like, I can't. One more, I can't do it.
I was like, if we did another one, I was like, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, dang it, I got to do it.
Fine. Okay, well, I'm going to go.
FOMO.
I'm going to go Google Blue Sky after this. Immediately, I should know what this is. Okay.
Yes.
But please, like she said, butts and seats means a lot, everybody. So go, show up, show out, and have fun with your locals. You won't want to miss that show December 7th, and a lot more coming your way, a lot more from Jpaw. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early for River City Live, and right after at 10:15 for River City Plus.